day after thoughts from the game that maybe you didn't think got covered yesterday?
I was up last night till 2:30 watching a game, so just obviously Ramondo had a good game, came up with some good saves. Schmid made a couple of good saves there too, but again, I was happy with the chances we created. There's some things I think we can do a little bit better, even offensively. Those are things we'll work on this week. But overall, I was pleased with our effort, offensively and defensively. And, it's one of those days where it just didn't go in. But it wasn't a situation of lack of trying or poor play put us into that position. I thought we played well.
Some of those things that you mentioned, though, offensively, how many of those can be remedied just by Eddie Johnson?
It just gets remedied by our team, just understanding what our runs have to be off of each other. But it's something. Certainly Eddie has certain physical qualities that he brings. It's a game where the wide players get a lot of space, so there's a lot of opportunities to cross the ball. Eddie's good in the air, so he adds that quality. He's probably, not probably, he is our best forward in the air, so he helps us that way. Their defense has to be a little more respectful, maybe can't quite play as high a line, so that gives us a little more room to operate in midfield, makes their midfield cover a little more space. So those are all things, and we'll see.
And watching the game, do you feel any more after watching it again, do you feel any more confident going into the second leg?
I think these two teams are very close. I think Salt Lake's been a good team. I think we've been a good team. I don't think there's a lot. There's a lot between the two teams. I think they're two good soccer teams that try and play the ball. They try and push the ball around, and so we're every bit as confident that we can do well in Salt Lake. But we also understand that they're a good team, and if we're not attentive, they'll take advantage of that. But it's going to be a close game, and then it might be a series that gets decided by one goal at the end of the day.
Any more health updates in terms of Rosales or?
Rosales was fine. He went through regen today, and Eddie went through the training that we wanted him to go through today, so he should be full in on Monday.
Any sense if either of your defenders will be ready for?
They did more today. Leo was working with Eddie and went through his stuff. Patrick went through a lot of that as well.
Eddie did the fitness test before the game yesterday. Was he ever close to really being a consideration?
He was close. Yeah, he was close. It was a situation of if it would have been the second leg and it was the same situation, we would have definitely put him on the 18. But we decided, with it being the first leg, we would just wait that little bit.
Any feeling that RSL will change approach on their home pitch or any of that?
Obviously they're playing in front of their fans, so they're gonna got them 2-0. I think, obviously with the home crowd behind them, they're going to probably feel a little more of a responsibility to attack. And if they come and, attack a little more, that gives us a little bit of space to counter into. Which way they're going to approach it, I don't know. I think the first 20 minutes are going to be very important in Salt Lake.
Was RSL able to key in on Freddie Montero a little bit more with Eddie out, or how did you kind of feel Freddie?
Well, we've always said that. I've said when Eddie and Freddie are on the field together, it helps them both because, you can't key on one or the other. So with just Freddie being out there, obviously they were able to key on Freddie a little bit more. Not that Sammy's a bad player or didn't do well, but maybe the respect level of the opposition isn't quite the same. But, even then, like I said, Sammy had two great opportunities to score for us and, got denied on a great save. And, and Freddie was instrumental in our build-up work as well.
Do PKs get any sort of heightened attention this week?
Yeah, if it comes to that, but hopefully it won't come to that.
But you prepare for them in any, or do you have them?
Yeah, we'll see about hitting them, yeah. Hopefully it'll be better than in Kansas City where we couldn't hit penalties before the game because we didn't know who was watching, so,
I think it's 7 games now for Freddie without a goal in the playoffs. Has he done enough? Do you need to see more from him in the playoffs?
It's teams will key on him a little bit more. They'll concentrate a little bit more. So now the question is, does he have to do a little bit more at times? And that's only a question that he can answer at the end of the day. But I think Freddie's effort and his desire to help the team is there, and he's just he's just a little bit snake bit. Mike McGee doesn't score a lot of goals in the regular season, but score goals in the playoffs. Why? Because all the attention's on Donovan and on Buttle and on Beckham, and so he pops free. And the attention is even keener in the playoffs to make sure you keep Keane off the board and keep those guys, so then his space opens up a little bit more. So, obviously the attention to Freddie, as the attention to Eddie Johnson, in the next game will be very intense, as is our attention to Savario and to Spindola.
Tanzania, the land of Kilimanjaro, Zanzibar, and the Serengeti.